Hi, everybody, and welcome back to The Gory Gaze. I'm Stanley.
And I'm Alex. Jesus Christ.
Sorry about my Mr. Erotica voice.
May the power of Christ compels you.
I mean, somebody has to.
Oh.
Yeah. It's only been a few days since our last recording.
It's felt like hours.
It
Like
doesn't.
only a movie between words.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like that long.
And what movie is that?
Wait, what? What do you mean?
I said it only felt like we've only done like one movie between our last podcast, and it's been this movie we're about to talk about.
I have no idea what you just said.
You're so lost.
I think you're stoned.
That is absolutely accurate. Yes, that is 100% true.
Okay, so I think what he is trying to say is that we just came off of our Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 5 episode.
Yes.
And we are back to talk about Jack Frost. Right?
Thank you for cleaning it up.
Is that what you meant? Okay.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, our gory ghouls don't smoke weed and podcast.
What do you mean? It's the funnest.
Or the funnest.
It's the goriest.
We're going to have a good time. Guys, it is Saturday. We're recording this on a Saturday, and this is going to drop on Monday, and we have a lot planned tonight. Well, not a lot. We just have a fun event planned tonight. We're going to be going to Christmas in LA. It's this event at the Bellwether. My girl Mandy Moore is performing with her husband and the Dowls Band. And a couple other artists are going, and I'm really excited.
Yeah, you really are. Is it going to be the funnest?
The most funnest.
And I use the word now.
You can now. Yeah, I give you that. Alex.
Okay, it's not going to be the goriest.
Got us some tickets for this, so I'm pretty stoked. I took the night off work for this, and I think I'm going to take my copy of Wild Hope. And I hope she's feeling better. She had put on her Instagram story a couple of days ago that she wasn't feeling well, and I've been kind of up in arms about that.
Yeah, the little Mandy threats don't work on me.
Yeah.
You hear me, Mandy? They don't work on me. They're going to be there.
We are going to be there anyway, and we've been manifesting good health for her.
We've been playing her records. We've been watching her shows. We're ready for her new one.
Mm-hmm. And for those who don't know, Mandy has a Christmas song called "How Could This Be Christmas?" Everyone should hear it. I have an autographed copy of it on my wall on our well, I say our, but it's my Mandy shrine. Alex helped me
yeah, he came with
it together. And for those who don't know, also Mandy was in a horror movie once. It was called 47 Meters Down, or is it called 47 Meters?
47 Meters.
And she is basically swimming with sharks, y'all. So if you haven't seen that movie, I highly recommend it. Not because Mandy Moore is in it, but because it's actually a very tense, scary film. I am not really big on sharks.
Yeah, and like claustrophobia.
Anything involving the ocean really, really, really scares me.
Honestly, yes.
So I think that movie is well worth checking out. And I'm really looking forward to this whole Mandy extravaganza. The last time we saw her was in May. She performed a couple of songs over at where was this? At the Hotel Cafe?
Yeah.
That was a lot of
here
fun.
in Hollywood.
So what else, Alex? Like I said, it's only been a couple of days since we were here last, so not much has happened. We've only watched a few movies, but we've been really busy. What did we watch? We watched All the Creatures Were Stirring on Shudder.
Really good.
Yeah,
really I liked
good.
It. We liked it.
Yeah, it's like a vignette, one of those vignette type of movies. Yeah, a lot better than I expected it to be. What did we say? We were just throwing on movies and just pressing play,
well, that's
right?
the thing. Like Shudder's just, we're not even being picky. Like last night, you were like, you know what? We're just gonna press play on every single one of these. Like, well, not even last night. We just started doing this little binge watching on these holiday movies, which is just like just press play on them, and they're all really good.
Yeah, it's just like, who are we to say no?
Yeah.
To anything horror.
Like they're being made, and it's like we have this calendar made for the rest of the season, like what movies we want to talk about, and then we watch these movies on Shudder and we're like, oh my gosh, this is so worth talking about.
It keeps making me wish that some of these movies had come across my radar earlier.
Yes. So some of them are worth mentioning just like now, but then of course there's always Nexter that we can catch up the season with.
Yeah, yeah. Here we are talking about fucking elves and Silent Night, Deadly Night, Part 5. But you know what? Like I said last episode, someone has to do it.
Yep.
And it might as well be us, y'all. The gory gays.
Yes,
All
we're
of
gonna
us.
touch everything.
We're touching everything.
Touch-
And unfortunately, that includes Jack Frost. And let's just lay it out there now. Did you like this movie? I'm asking you. Well, I already know you did.
You know what? It's just that there's an aesthetic to this movie. It's just the music that plays along with it kind of keeps you really warm and cozy. It's like watching a Hallmark Halloween holiday movie.
Oh, yeah. Ugh.
It just
Hallmark
it,
holiday movie. It has that quality. It's
it,
got that quality
in
to
the
it.
sense of keeping you watching. You know, like you don't expect the things that are happening, and then we'll get into it as we go. But it just kind of gave me a good holiday feeling.
I disagree.
What?
I didn't love it. I think out of all the movies we've reviewed so far for the 6 weeks of holiday horror, I think this is the one I've enjoyed the least. But also, I think I'm just getting a little burnt out on these
Hmm.
campy, hokey, comedy horror movies. I think when I programmed these movies earlier, I didn't realize that these were going to be so funny, campy, hokey, stupid. So what I'm trying to say is I'm excited to watch something dark and more serious and sinister, I guess.
I know it's what we're saying right now that Shudder is releasing all these good movies that we're like, damn, this is so good to cover, this is so good to talk about, and we've already got our list done. So it's like we're not gonna do that to poor old Jack Frost, but get
Yeah,
out of the way.
yeah, but that's not to say that what we're covering next week is not on Shudder because
Yes.
it is. Again, stay tuned until the end of the episode where we reveal what we are talking about next week.
Yeah, and find out if
Um,
we actually liked it or not at the end of the episode once we get through it.
No, I'm just telling you now that I did not love this movie. And you guys, there's a sequel. There was a sequel that came out 2 years later, or maybe 3 years later. Same director, same cast. And I watched the trailer, and I will not be watching it.
Yeah. I mean, this movie it was a little intense. I mean, it does have more of a comedic horror and a lot of sexual explicit. Not really a lot, but it's just a little bit too
I mean,
much.
the one scene that they chose
Yeah.
to use the explicit sexual content, it's yeah, there's a trigger warning for. I mean, whether it's supposed to be comic or not, I didn't find it funny.
No.
But there's rape in this movie.
Yeah, you can say that. Like, yeah, I would exactly say that.
Yeah, it's pretty horrific
Yeah.
when all is said
It's not
and
even
done.
rape, it's like rape to murder.
Yeah, well, I mean, flat out, Shannon Elizabeth's character is raped to death. It's from a killer snowman, but it's all about perspective when it comes down to it. I've said it time and time again about what your humor levels are, and I do not shy away from a lot, and I just don't think that this movie needed that particular type of scene. It was there strictly for shock value, and it just was so unnecessary. And it
Yeah.
just we got into the conversation afterward about poor Shannon
Yep.
Elizabeth. Like this was her first film, is
It
what
felt really dirty.
I felt
Yeah.
kind of bad for her.
We took a
And
moment, like a pause. It was just
you
like, oh
know,
my
as
gosh.
I was kind of composing the whole plot stuff, we had to pause it, and I was like, dude, like I don't even know if I really want to finish this movie. I know it's supposed to be funny, and I know it's not supposed to be taken seriously, but
And we'll get to the plot with you guys so you guys can understand what part we're talking about.
yeah, I mean, I think it's probably the most notorious part of the film.
Even we weren't understanding what was happening up until it was like this death hug or what, up until he put his nose back on and we were like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? Mind you guys, we're sorry, but we are here to slash up and bleed out the shit out of this movie for you guys.
Ugh, God, and apparently there was even a third movie that was supposed to happen, but the lead actor of the first two films died in a freak accident avalanche in
Is, is this a
2008.
real fact?
No, this is true. Christopher Allport, who plays the sheriff
Oh
in
yeah.
these two films,
You're
he
confusing it with the last podcast that we did. I think we were
wait, why?
We looked up a fact, or we were just mentioning a fact.
Oh God, what a dummy. Okay, yeah. So the last,
It's
this is
worth mentioning.
it
It's
is
good.
it is kind of funny. So we were talking about Martin Kittrosser, and I don't know what randomness I stumbled upon, but
Hmm.
in the middle of podcasting, I was like, "Oh God, and he's dead."
Oh, guys, we felt so bad. We did this whole. Oh no,
I
like
went down this whole rabbit hole about how like, oh God, like rest in peace, Martin Kittrosser. Like, let's look up his work. Oh, he was famous for this, and this, and
you were so sure about it. I just tagged along. I'm like, oh man, poor
yeah,
guy. Wow,
and
he's so good.
it wasn't until we were like in the editing process that I went to go look up a little bit more about him that I realized he was actually very much alive.
Yeah, for the sake of correcting ourselves and not hearing it from you guys, but we would hear it from you guys anyways.
What a fucking dumbass move. So that was a very exciting,
So he's alive, guys. But
very exciting moment.
anyways, back to this one.
Yeah, podcasting life. So before we get into the movie, I did want to mention real quick also we are watching Fargo, which I'm dying over. I just want to say that because I'm loving Jennifer Jason Leigh's character, and this is also a shameless plug for our single white female episode, which
Oh,
is
our baby.
our first episode, and listen to all of our other episodes. And while you're at it, go follow us on social media at The Gory Gaze. That's our handle for Instagram and Twitter. I usually save that stuff for the end, but you can just do all that right now.
This is the end.
So yeah, Alex, what is the difference between a snowman and a snow woman?
The balls?
Snowballs.
Snowballs.
Yeah, you were so close.
Is it though?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think so.
This movie did not have snowballs either. As far as I know, they went by it. He went by it.
Oh, that's right. There was a part in the movie where the doctor who's examining the stuff. I mean,
The killer.
I don't know what he's examining, but he determines that that the sex of the snowman is neither male nor female.
No, it's it.
Very interesting. Alex,
Hmm.
what 2018 film features a family who lives in silence while hiding from creatures who hunt by sound? Dun dun dun.
I no, I have no idea.
What?
Uh,
You're not even gonna you just had it on the tip of your tongue.
I was well. It's. I think it's the one. I think it is. A Quiet Place.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you expect the cards to come back out?
Pull those things
I
away
had
from me,
them-
please.
No.
How dare you?
My cousin Chris had said that he missed the trivia cards, and I don't think that Alex knew that I had these hiding away.
Oh, Chris, go for the pass.
So, real quick, Alex, I think I'm going to ask you a couple of questions
Oh,
just because I
no.
think we have the time to
I don't
do
want to
it.
break out in a sweat.
No, you're going to do it. In what movie do the survivors use petri dishes with blood samples and a heated wire to determine which one of them is the host of an extraterrestrial creature?
Aliens?
No,
No. I have no idea.
The Thing.
The thing. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. That's the classic?
No, I mean it's the John Carpenter remake,
Okay.
which is a little bit different than the original.
Okay. So,
Okay,
No.
this 1990 movie about an infestation of murderous spiders features John Goodman and Jeff Daniels.
arachnophobia.
Good one. 1 for 3. All right. Who directed the 1999 film Sleepy Hollow, which starred Johnny Depp as Ichabod Crane?
Who directed it? Tim Burton?
All right. 2 for 4. And last one. What substance was used to ink the pages of the Necromonicon?
Blood.
Yes. What kind of blood?
Virgin.
Oh,
Blood.
I'll give it to you. It's human blood.
Oh, human blood. Well, it's always
I
virgin.
love it. Oh, I missed trivia.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Oh, that was fun. Huh? Yeah, we
It
need to
actually is.
Chris actually knows a lot about horror movies. We
Uh.
grew up watching horror films together quite
Okay,
often.
so I'm going to challenge him one day. He has to join us for just the trivia at least.
Yeah, no, we should get him on here to do like a Zoom or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he, well, for one, would probably whoop your ass, and I think he
what?
could.
I'm gunning for you, Chris.
He could very well whoop mine.
Probably.
I mean, I'm just saying. So yeah, there's not a lot of history regarding this film. I mean, as far as production goes, I pulled something off of Wikipedia that said, I mean, this was from an interview with Fangoria. It said that the writer slash director, Michael Cooney, he said that he became the director because they could not afford a director. Further addressing the low budget of the film, Cooney said that there was a Campbell Soup Let It Snow advertisement, and he said that the commercial, which also featured a living snowman character, had a budget that was 3 times that of Jack Frost. Furthermore, saying that Identity, which is a movie that Michael Cooney also wrote, which is a fucking amazing film, by the way, starring John Cusack and like Rebecca De Mornay and Amanda Peet. Like, it has a very, very good cast, and it's really, really incredible. Everybody watch it. That movie had a budget of 30 million, while Jack Frost was made for quote unquote the cost of its catering budget. So that's something in itself.
Do you remember that Campbell's soup commercial?
I do.
Is it the one with the little kid that melts when he's eating the soup, right?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I used to love old vintage Christmas commercials.
Yeah. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Yeah.
That was a song playing.
Yeah, those ones and those Eminem commercials I really, really loved.
Yeah, you're right. They don't show those anymore.
Yeah, they don't. But I also I love that this movie could not afford a director though. Like, that's how low budget it was, that they just couldn't find one, so the writer was like, "Okay, well, I guess it has to be me."
Wasn't Marcy Darcy from Married with Children the director there too? I'm just playing.
Wait. I was like, "What?"
It's Marsha. Marsha Cross looks like Marcy.
Oh, Marsha Clark.
Marsha Clark. Sorry, I don't know.
Oh, it's so funny. Yeah, this movie has a couple recognizable faces. Yeah, we can get into it when you tell us about the movie. I mean, you might as well just tell us about it now. We can just get into it.
Okay, what do you want to know?
I mean, there's not a lot going on here as far as, we know there's a sequel that I will never watch. Do you ever plan on watching Revenge of the Mutant Killer Snowman?
I don't want to watch that, no.
I mean,
I think the only alien movie that's acceptable now for me would be Killer Clowns, and that's probably if I watch it again during Halloween season.
Alien? Do you think that this is an alien movie?
What did you say? You said, have I watched
Revenge of the Mutant Killer Snowman? That's a sequel.
I'm an idiot. Why did I think mutant sounded like alien? I'll leave that. Don't cut that out.
I'm not cutting that out. Well, I take that as a no. You don't plan on watching Jack Frost 2? No, you will.
Yeah, we will. Absolutely.
No, not we.
No, we
I
will.
watching.
We are going.
For those who do care, though, apparently Vinegar Syndrome released this movie on Blu-ray with a 2K presentation. I could really care less to ever see this movie in anything more than that. But I do remember the VHS when I would go to the video stores and stuff, and it had that reflective cover. Like, you would pick it up and move it, and it had the regular snowman, and then you turned it the other way, and it had the killer snowman with its open mouth and jagged teeth.
That you never see in the movie at all.
Yeah. Oh, we'll talk about the effects later.
That's so weird.
Ugh. God. Okay, yeah, so why don't you tell us a little bit about Jack Frost?
Okay.
Alex?
Are you going to let me start? Or?
Yeah, well, go.
Okay, guys, so written and directed by Michael Cooney. Also written by Jeremy Page. Starring Christopher Alport.
Rest in peace.
Oh, rest in peace. Are you sure?
He's yes. IMDb is the one that told me.
Okay. IMDb did.
Oh, God.
Stephen Mendel. F. William Parker. Rob LaBelle. Shannon Elizabeth.
Oh,
Ugh.
no.
Ugh.
It's like I just feel bad.
Marsha Clark. I fucking love her.
And not the Marsha Clark you guys are thinking.
No, not at all.
Because we immediately, when we saw the credits, we were like, wait, what? Like, objection.
I was like, that is so cool. She's like the assistant cop there, and she's the one that also persecuted, the Jews. What?
Fucking wild.
Not her. You could tell by the birthmark on the cheek. And, of course, it's just not her.
Well, yeah.
Yes, well, of course, Marsha Clark and Eileen Seeley and Scott McDonald as Jack Frost.
Yeah, Scott McDonald is our villain, but let's be clear that he is only in the first couple of scenes, and then he is the voice of our killer snowman.
Music by Chris Anderson and Carl Schwartz. Who do you know? What do you know about Carl Schwartz?
I mean, I don't believe that either of them actually did music, because the music that you hear is all just ripped off of like free holiday music.
And the name Schultz is like so... It's so known, right, for like music and the old TV shows and stuff like that. I don't know why like Schultz just popped up, and I was like, can you Google that immediately? Like, what did he work on? Did he do like cartoons back in the day or something?
I think you're thinking of the Charlie Brown guy.
Yeah. Distributed by Apix Entertainment. Released on November 18th, 1997.
What I really love about the movies that we've been reviewing is that most, if not all, have been coming out around the Christmas holiday. So, they've been coming out around November or so, closer to Christmas, which I really like.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Apex real quick because I, for some reason, really remember all these movies from Apex Entertainment. And they had the most wild movie covers. Like there was, I mean, obviously Jack Frost. They had movies like The Ice Cream Man. We watched that, didn't we?
The Ice Cream
The
Man?
Ice Cream Man with Clint Howard, who's in everything.
Probably.
Oh, Scorned. Scorned 2. Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam.
Movies like The Killer Tongue. Oh, The Boys Club with Devon Sawa. That movie's actually a really good Canadian John Fawcett directed movie. It had a Chris Penn. Rest in peace, Chris Penn. Ooh, Little Witches. Did you ever see Little Witches?
I think I've probably seen it with you.
No, no, no. I don't think we watched this. This came
No.
out right around the time as The Craft, and
Oh,
it's the cover's right here. Check it out.
let me see.
These movies were like the poor man's version of those kind of movies, basically. I want to say Evil Ed, like stupid ass titles like that. Oh God! And then there was this one, Sister, My Sister. Oh God, just Jolie Richardson.
Sister, my
Ridiculous.
sister.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we could talk about the cast. I mean, Christopher Alport, I mean, obviously, he is, I would say, the most well known out of this cast, and he is the one who perished in an avalanche in 2008. He was in this film called Garden Party with Vanessa Shaw. Who else was in that movie? I own it. It's a really good movie. He plays like a really sleazy real estate agent, and it was directed by Jason Freeland. Eric Smith is in it. It also has Jennifer Lawrence. It was like her
Oh,
first film. Like she has a very, very, very brief small part. Like she has two lines or
how
something like that.
cute.
Yeah, when I met Vanessa Shaw at one of the Munster Palooza conventions, that was the one thing that she had said to me. She was like, "Oh, because I wanted her to sign either this book that I have, like this replica Hocus Pocus book, or the cover of Garden Party." And she chose to sign the Hocus Pocus book. And she pointed out at Garden Party, and she was like, "You do know that this was Jennifer Lawrence's debut movie?" And I was like, "I do know that," and
Ugh,
that's a weird thing to point out.
yeah. Then walk away and be like, wow, that's amazing. Let me Google that right
Yeah,
now.
well, I already knew that though. Like, but
Sister,
like
my
she's
sister.
holding on to that though. Like, okay, what else? I mean, and everybody else, I don't really care about. It had a fine cast. I guess that the only person that really. Oh wait, we should talk about Marsha Clark, right?
Yes,
Marsha Clark, you
absolutely.
were really oogling about her. She was a soap opera lady.
Have you? It's because have you seen the for the cast of this movie the picture that they have of her, the profile picture that they have of her?
Yeah,
It's
it's like
amazing.
a glamour shot.
It's so
It's
good.
so good.
I didn't even realize it was her still.
She was really famous for being on Days of Our Lives,
Hmm.
and my mom was big on Days of Our Lives. Like, watched it every single day, recorded it on VHS tapes, which is probably why I have such a fondness for VHS tapes. And yeah, she played a judge.
She's just so graceful.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
has like a certain kind of elegance
Hmm.
and does not belong in this movie.
Yeah.
But I bet she probably looks back on this with a certain kind of holiday fondness.
She kind of fit the character though. There's always that one character that just she did it, the one that keeps the sheriff on check.
Yeah, yeah. She I was looking at her a lot while we were watching the movie, just watching her
Me
reaction
too.
specifically, because there's
Yeah.
always that one actor that doesn't belong.
I feel like it was
And
her most comedic role.
oh,
That
for
it
sure.
wasn't even meant to be comedic, but she was just really naturally there, present.
She wasn't taking herself too seriously,
No,
which is a
exactly.
lot of fun.
Yeah.
Did you have a relationship prior to this movie? I mean, prior to this viewing? Because you said you
Uh-huh.
had seen it.
Yeah, I
Okay.
have seen it. This was the horror movie to watch during this holiday season for me. I would watch both of them, this one and the Michael Keaton one.
Oh God, I only saw the Michael Keaton one once, and that was in theaters, and I never watched it
So
again.
you watch that one first, and then you watch this one last because first you get sad and then you get angry.
Yeah, I've never bothered with this one. I've kept away from it this long, and I feel like there was a reason.
And it's weird because I never paid attention to it until now. What actually happens in that in the bathtub? Like before,
Dude.
I was just like, "Oh, it's a snowman just killing the girl. She's naked." And like back in the '80s and '90s, all those movies were just naked girls all over, anyways.
Yeah, and it's weird because I feel like we didn't even see Shannon Elizabeth naked.
But you feel like you did. Because when I was like telling you, oh my gosh, wait till you watch that part, she's gonna be entirely naked. You're gonna see her entirely, and then I saw it again. And I was like, she's not entirely naked, but I felt like I literally saw her. I think it was because they took so much of her from it, and that it felt like she just gave us all of Shannon Elizabeth because they just took it from her.
Yeah, for being gory gays, we certainly live for the full frontal of a female movie star.
Yeah, yeah, really. No, you know what? I do. I like it, and
It's funny. Yeah, we
in
were
a
talking
gross way.
no, not at all, but we were talking about that with Saltburn the other day about how we just appreciated
Yes,
the flailing dick.
and we like it.
Yeah, we're not mad about it. Like we have just had so much TNA from the
Yeah,
female body over the last however many years, and when
yeah.
we get a penis thrown at us, we will take it. So
This is good for like even like for women, you know, because men just get so much satisfaction out of naked women in movies all the time that it's like this is for the women now, and even if it's not, even if it's for whoever wants it, just it's there now.
100%. Why don't you hit us with I think the one score.
The
No,
one
there's a couple of
score,
scores actually. I think that there was more than just that one score. Go ahead.
well, Stanley Boy review. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God,
You're not
I
kidding.
never would have in my life.
Okay, well, the one score that I did find was for Rotten Tomatoes, and it's a 17%.
Oh my God. Well, you know what? I bothered just now to look for a letterboxed score, and that was 2.4 out of 5, I think.
Non-existent.
Yeah. That might be out of 10. I never really understand Letterboxd. I should probably get on board with that community at one point or another because it's just, it always looks so interesting, but I just don't have the patience and my ADHD is just always all over the place. So,
Letterbox, hit us up, take us to school.
yeah, I know. Or we just need to enroll in the class.
Yeah,
It looks like a lot of fun.
let's do it.
Yeah.
And then like ditch it.
It got, pretty negative reviews, obviously, but there were people out there that really liked certain things about it, like the effects and the really dumb campiness and the fact that it didn't take itself too seriously. So there are a couple of characteristics that people really enjoyed about it. I am not one of those people.
Oh my.
I think that's it, right?
That's all I have.
I think
All this
that's fucking
information.
it. So, y'all, I guess we're just gonna defrost this bitch, and we're gonna take this moment right now to let you know we're gonna spoil. Oh, we already said that. We're
Yeah.
splashing up and bleeding out Jack Frost. Yeah. Okay.
You
Whatever.
want to talk about what you're doing tonight?
Oh, we already talked about that too.
Okay. Did you want to talk about this past week, what we did, how much fun
No,
we
we
had
already did that too.
at Disneyland?
Oh,
Or at
thank you.
California Adventure?
We went, okay, so, and I never spend time at California Adventure, but we went to specifically California Adventure to visit with my friend Christine. I can't talk. Christine and her husband, Alan, and their baby boy, Xander, who is 5. And I have not spent a great deal of time with Xander over the course of his life, but we got to spend some great quality time together with him, Alex and I, and Christine's mom, Sharon, was there. And I've grown up with Christine. So I've known her since I was about 12 years old. And she's been one of my very best friends since then. So this was really nice. I just wanted to say hi to her. And I don't know if she actually listens to this, but I do know that she was our first subscriber on YouTube. So I know that she does support us. But I did want to just give her and her lovely family a shout out because they showed us a really great time at California Adventure the other day.
Yeah, thank you so much for lending us your wonderful family. It was a pleasure meeting you guys. And it was such a lovely day too. It was so good.
Yeah, between like my godchildren and between the children of my friends, and I know Alex has a bunch of nieces and nephews. I love the holidays, you guys. I really do. I'm so pumped. Happy 6 weeks of holiday horror, Alex.
Happy 6 weeks.
Yes. What brand of doll did Charles Lee Ray possess in the Child's Play movies?
The good guy doll.
Fuck yeah. In the Japanese thriller Audition, what did the main character use to lure her victims?
I never watched that one.
I don't care.
What did she lure to her, the camera?
In the Japanese thriller Audition,
Okay.
what did the main character use to lure her victims?
Her audition.
A dating service.
Oh, okay, a dating service.
We'll watch it eventually. Okay, you guys, we are going to get into the plot. Let's do it, okay? Are you ready? I know you're ready. Jack Frost goes like this.
One cold night, science and evil collide. Oh, yeah. Now, a serial killer is on the loose.
We hadn't even tested the acid on an amoeba, let alone a human cell. This is a disaster.
Look, I just saw something that doesn't belong in this world, and it's out there killing my friends. Now tell me what it is.
Jack Frost.
I think Jack's about to make an entrance.
And he's giving Cold-Blooded a whole new meaning.
Hey, Jack! What? You left the 710 split.
Hell has just frozen over. Blow me. Jack Frost.
Look, Ma! I'm a Picasso!
The movie opens on a Christmas tree, and the Christmas tree is basically where we have our credits. The credits are all on individual Christmas ornaments, and the movie is narrated, or the credits rather, are narrated by Michael Cooney, who is the writer-director, and Marsha Clark, which I don't know if you knew that or not.
No, not at all. Did she really?
Yeah, so the little girl's voice, who is the one who is asking for the bedtime story,
Yeah.
that's Marsha Clark.
Oh, that sucks because it's really fucking annoying to me.
Yeah, so that's what we start with. A little girl who is asking for a bedtime story, and then we have like an uncle character who is doing a voiceover.
The uncle is great.
Really?
Yeah, I like the voice of the uncle. It sounds like really like kind of gross, like scary.
I don't like much any of it. But I do like the creative way that they have the opening credits.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's like the best part of the entire movie.
Yeah,
Like, how brilliant.
It's literally so simple. It's just the names of each actor, each person involved with the film on ornaments on this tree.
Yes, and the camera's just like panning throughout the whole tree, just bouncing up and down and just revealing the names of the cast and crew. It's so good.
Yeah, it's really neat. I liked that. And then we also get the story of Jack Frost, the serial killer. And then we go to our first scene, and we have Jack Frost, the killer, who is being transferred in an execution vehicle to his death. Now, did you catch the story of what he did?
Yes.
Okay, what exactly happened?
Sheriff Sam Tiller, he catches him burying a body or something like that, and then realizes that his car is also stolen.
Oh,
So
so
that's
this
when he
is
first catches him.
okay. Yes, so this is after he has gone on his like
Yeah.
killing spree.
But are you
right?
talking about the story that the uncle tells?
Yeah, like I don't quite. It went by so quickly. I want to know what happened first.
So I don't know if that's the actual story though
Oh,
of
okay.
this guy. I think that's
I
just
wasn't-
like an actual just little story about
I wasn't quite sure either.
yeah, this killer, and I think
Okay.
it was relative to just the killing and pies, and it was really weird. The story was the
Okay.
story. Did
So-
you want me to tell it? 'Cause I can tell it.
No, do you know it?
No.
Okay, so in that case, we'll just start here. Jack Frost, played by Scott McDonald, is being transferred in an execution vehicle to his death. But the vehicle crashes into another one that's filled with genetic acid. The other vehicle explodes, spraying directly into Jack's face, causing him to melt into the snow and magically disappear. Buckle up, baby, because this is not your mama's Jack Frost.
Oh my.
So we know what kind of movie we're in for right at the get-go with these horrific one-liners like "This is gonna hurt." The effects are better than I expected.
Yeah, I believe so. The effects were really good.
Yeah, but only here. I mean, in the opening scene, we get the horrifically melted body once that acid stuff hits his face and his skin starts melting away and stuff.
I loved how that was done.
Yeah,
That
I thought
entire
that
thing
that
was that
good.
guy was dumb though that the the one that was watching the whole thing happen, his reaction. Oh my
Yeah,
God, his
the
face
driver. I wasn't even
was
gonna
so bad.
name him, but his name is the actor who plays him is Todd Connor, and
You are
he
horrible.
is the worst. He just gives the most. You don't know what he's doing
Nope.
and what he's reacting to or what he's seeing. I mean,
Yeah,
what
it's
we
like,
are
is
seeing,
he crying? Is he laughing? Is he just fucking annoying?
yeah, we are watching someone being devastated, emaciated by genetic acid. You know, he's melting away. His body is literally melting away.
Yeah, it's really cool the way this is done. Into the snow, mind you, right? Like it's like melting into the snow because it's like acid. Which I
And
thought, like, what is the hell does acid have to do with him becoming a snowman? But we'll get to that too.
yeah, and this guy is not, you would not think that that's what he is seeing.
Yeah, no,
And so he is definitely giving us some very strange
strange. What am I
faces.
watching? Faces.
Yeah, so that's where we start with this silly little movie. I get a little bit of Wicked Witch of the West vibes.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of gore right at the very beginning.
Yes.
And then we get that cartoon sequence of him, I guess, being reanimated into the snow. That's the idea
Yeah.
you're supposed to get.
Which to me was like it was really, and not to mix it into horror, but it was just like very Gotham-y. Like very, the opening was so Batman to me. Like somebody
I
being transferred in the snow. The way that the cops were looking out the snowy window was like very Gotham-y.
I am not very familiar with any of
Uh-huh.
that stuff, so I will take your word for it.
It's cool. Like we'll watch one at least just to show you for the reference part of it. But you'll see how the opening was very similar to like a Batman movie to me.
I do want to watch Batman Returns.
The originals, yeah, the Return one and stuff like that, not
Yeah.
these newer ones.
Would you consider Batman Returns a Christmas film?
Fuck yes. Oh my
Fuck
gosh. Absolutely yes.
Okay,
Thank you for
cool.
mentioning it. We're watching it.
Absolutely. Okay, so Sheriff Sam and his wife are driving. Sheriff had a run-in with Frost before. I think that's what you were talking about
Oh,
beforehand, was you were describing that incident.
yeah, that's the story. But that's not the story, guys, to have y'all confused. He was talking about the opening story with Marsha. And that story, I just couldn't pay, because I was paying too much attention to it. I honestly didn't pay attention to the story. All I heard was just like pies and bodies being cooked into the pies. And
Yeah, so if that's what happened, if
Yeah.
that's really what this Jack Frost character did, because I know that they mentioned something about how he had been, going from state to state. He
Yeah.
had been on the run for a very long time. He killed a lot of people.
so basically, he was hiding the bodies in these pies. I believe so.
Oh, I'm going to interrupt you. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so he had left a trail of 38 bodies across 11
Mhm.
states before finally being arrested
Okay.
by Sheriff Sam, which is
And
where you are now.
That's the
Okay,
part
go
that I was
ahead.
talking about
Go
when he
ahead.
gets caught by the sheriff, and then the sheriff finds out that his car's stolen, so then they take him in. That's how he gets caught.
Yeah, so yeah, Sam is the one who finally catches him when he is on his way to get executed. It is, he's to be executed at midnight. Clearly, he doesn't make it. The car accident happens, and then he disappears into the snow after melting away.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're introduced to Sheriff Sam and his wife. The sheriff and his family, his wife, played by Eileen Seeley, and their son Ryan, played by Ryan Edgington, come across the crash scene in the snow and are told to just keep going on because it's a federal matter.
Very rude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, seriously. He's about to explain that he's like the sheriff, and he's like, I don't care, keep going. He's like, okay.
I love that he just goes on.
Yeah.
Like the biggest wet pants you've ever seen.
Yep.
And this is some of the worst writing you've ever heard. When they're interrogating the driver of the execution truck,
Yeah.
he's like, he didn't have legs.
And it's fucked up because the actors were doing their job. It's just the writing fucking sucked.
And it's insane to me that this guy would go on to write Identity.
Really?
Because
Oh, yeah.
Identity is such a
Mhm.
good movie. There is not a lot of bad things I could say about Identity. And Identity is a severe juxtaposition against this. Like, there is such a massive fucking difference. It's night and motherfucking day. We'll watch Identity and you'll be like, there's no way that this guy made fucking Jack Frost.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So the next morning, mom and sheriff, I didn't even get the mom's name.
Oh my gosh, what was her name?
I don't even care. Like, that's how much I really cared about this fucking film.
The mom that like she dies so sad.
What is her mom? The mom didn't die. No, this is a different.
Oh,
You
wait.
don't even know the character. Her name is Anne. I love it. You're like, no, not her. I know who you're talking about, though. That's funny. So, so the next day, uh, Anne, the mom,
Yes,
and
not the white
Sheriff,
one.
yeah, and Sheriff Sam and Ryan are prepping for their morning. Ryan asks about Jack Frost. Sam explains to him that he's not anything to worry about. And as stupid as this movie is so far, I do like the use of the generic slasher trope. So I guess it could be entertaining in that respect, you know. But I fucking hate this writing. Like, I hate the son. I hate, you know, my dad's a hero.
That little kid was annoying, I'll tell you, but he was on cue.
Okay. So he wants to build a snowman for the competition later. So we cut to the Fawn Lodge, where we get a dry lot with as much fake snow the prop department could muster, and there is a lot of fake snow. Like, there was something in the trivia I read that it was filmed during the winter, but it was so dry and so cold, and there was no snow. So they had to get a lot of fake snow, and you could tell.
It looked like cotton.
It looks very foamy.
Yeah.
And then this is where we meet Shannon Elizabeth in her first movie role.
Already being mischievous and a little slutty.
Yeah.
She only does one role.
She's very
Shannon Elizabeth.
Very one note.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is before American Pie and before anything else. Like we said, it's her first movie. And she is the daughter of Mr. Metzer, played by Jack Linden. His wife is Sally, played by Kelly Jean Peters, and they also have a son named Billy, played by Nathan Hogg. I can't get over the Gloria de Excelsis in the background. They pulled off of YouTube, just like all the rest of the music.
Yeah, really. And you know what? But it's super satisfying to me. It just feels like really like Christmas tree farm, you know, banjo playing in the background. Like,
and I know you like it, and I think that it probably could be comforting
for the sake of the aesthetic of a small town, which I didn't realize was Big Bear. Is that
the
area as well?
Yeah, I think that a lot of this movie was filmed in Big Bear.
Cool.
Good call. And then we are also introduced to another character named Paul, and that is played by F. William. Who? F. William.
Is that the boyfriend?
No, that's the salt.
Yeah. Paul.
F. William Parker. And he owns like the hardware store. And
annoying man. Very confrontational.
I think I like him most out of all the characters, though.
Mr. Devereaux.
Devereaux. And then also we are introduced to Tommy, who works for Mr. Devereaux, and Tommy is played by Darren O'Campbell. And we think he's there to be the eye candy, but also he's not that attractive. So
we'll get it. We'll take it.
And in all honesty, Chris Alport is really endearing, and I think that, you know, he really probably took this as serious as he could. I really like him as Sheriff Sam, like all bullshit aside.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where we get the snowman joke that we kind of opened this with, the snowballs joke.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, this is where I put in my notes that Shannon Elizabeth is annoying as fuck. And I know that you agree with me.
Yes. So this little town is like, the music's playing in the background. Everybody's like having fun at the snowman competition. And then Sam, the sheriff guy, is just having these fucked up visions of sugar plums of, what's his name? Jack in his head. They just like start popping up.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like the eeriest visions ever.
Yeah. And that's when we both kind of decided that Jack in human form was kind of hot from a distance.
Yeah. That's the first part. It's like, oh my gosh, he's been ugly the entire time, but not to use the word ugly in a bad way. It's like, oh, he's not the most handsomest man in the opening of the movie. But then during this scene, it's like, wow, he looks actually more decent, more, now you can stand him.
Yeah, but then there are certain parts where it's like, okay, Jack Frost, okay.
Get it?
But then he turns his head to face the camera entirely, and you're like, oh shit, look away.
Yeah, where's the carrot at?
Oh, damn. Oh shit. Okay, so we go to a small town sheriff's office, which I love these kind of set pieces, especially during the holidays. I think they are so homey and cute. So I will give this movie a little tiny half point for homey Christmas sheriff office set piece.
Yeah, and they decorated like I decorate. It's so weird.
They did. The garland is literally identical.
It's where we meet Marcia Clark as well.
This is where we meet Marcia Clark.
And what is he walks into the office and he's like, "What's the rush? What, did somebody die?"
And she holds out a piece of paper that says somebody died.
It's so fucking good.
And this is Marsha Clark. Her character's name is Marla, and she is a bad bitch. We
She's
love her.
Good. She's
Yeah.
an asshole, but a good one.
Yeah, so she is the secretary, and Sam has to go to the house of Old Man Harper, who is frozen in his rocking chair, having been killed at one point the night before. And this part is actually pretty gross.
It's super scary to me.
Yeah, like
It doesn't belong in this movie.
No, like this part it works so well, but it just kind of took me out of the film because it's so eerie, and the way that this corpse is positioned, and it doesn't belong in this film.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I do love that this is the one piece of comedy I do like is when, because the chair is rocking back and forth.
Yes.
And the way the camera is positioned is you see Sam and his two cohorts. You got Joe on one side, one of the officers whose name I forget, but we'll get to it. And then you have the other officer.
The doctor, right? Isn't it the doctor?
No, it's another officer.
Oh, really?
The doctor comes later.
Okay.
But then the chair is rocking back and forth, and then Sam is like, get your foot off the rocking chair.
Yeah, so it makes you believe like the soul or the body is like actually moving the rocket chair.
Yeah, and that part was kind of funny.
That's pretty cool.
It was at this point that I realized that this movie is kind of gritty in that sense of it's handheld. A lot of the camera work is very much like shoulder work. Like it's kind of like someone put a big camera on their shoulder and was lugging it around. So I guess I kind of also respect that because that means it was like blood, sweat, and tears type of shit. So
it has its moments because I was actually going to be picky about that too, but then I continued and then it just cleared and they cleaned it up and I was like, damn, I can't really mention that. But it does have it enough to where it is mentionable that it is a little shouldery, like shaky, kind of like
yeah. But sometimes that contributes to the cool aesthetic of
it's super cool. They just want you at point of view, I guess, right?
Yeah,
kind of.
Agreed. So Sam asks Marla to be patched through to the FBI. He's connected to Agent Manners, played by Stephen Mendel. He wants to be sure that Jack Frost was indeed executed the night before, and Manners confirms, but he's lying. He's actually in mid-convo with Agent Stone about the crash and how the acid stuff does work, and it's just unfortunate that the first guinea pig happened to be a serial killer. Double shrug.
Yeah.
Sam and the local doctor examine the corpse of Old Man Harper, who basically says that a large gloved killer is what has killed him. Like, they're basically implying that a snowman killed him. Mom comes home from grocery shopping, and annoying Ryan is ruining the kitchen with more of his terrible baking. And also, we did not mention earlier that he made oatmeal cookies, and I'm using air quotes because they were not oatmeal cookies.
They were not. It was
like, what were they?
A mishmash of everything that is you would call everything in the kitchen sink.
Yeah, it's bad. Like, this kid is just destroying the kitchen left and right all the time. It's fucking horrific. And Sheriff Dad, he threw them away, and then he felt guilty, so he picked them up out of the garbage and then just like kept them in his car.
Specifically, the voiceover comes up that says, "Dad, I made you those especially for you." Like, he gets guilty and he goes back to the trash can, picks them up. Specifically for a reason, guys.
Yeah, and he feels bad. So that is heavy foreshadowing. Bum, bum, bum.
Yep.
So don't forget that. So there is a giant snowman, quote unquote, again, because that is not a snowman, guys. This is a giant foamy
inflatable.
We don't know what this is. This is a prop man's nightmare of a project. This is so silly.
Yeah.
This Jack Frost creature thing. It's outside of the sheriff's house, and Anne, Mom, she coaxes Ryan into going outside to finish it. Back at the station, Marla is trying to calm down a bunch of angry men who are mad about Old Man Harper being dead. Paul, the gun shop owner, he offers 20% discount off guns for a special emergency. Marla can't be concerned.
It's a goddamn turkey shoot.
And then back at the house, Ryan continues to construct his snowman. Side note, I think there is something wrong with Ryan.
So he's the one that gave him that carrot.
Oh, yeah, God.
So basically, is he like dad because he created him then? And then like he gets...
I am not quite sure. I'm not with it. I'm just not with so much just going on in this movie.
Yeah.
The mitten that he's wearing for comparison while he's constructing the rest of this snowman, like he has to look at the face of a snowman to put on a carrot and two eyes and to construct a mouth. Like he doesn't know
Oh,
Like,
oh.
it takes a lot for me to be taken out of a movie,
Yeah.
but this is something else. When that kid comes up to him and says, "Are you deaf as well as butt ugly?" Like, the writing in this movie is
Grotesque.
so silly.
It's so gross.
And the person who says that line is Billy. And Billy is the son of Mr. Metzer, and he is with three hooligans. And they are up there to bully Ryan. And Billy uses his sled to chop off the head of the snowman. In turn, one of the sleds decapitates Billy.
I love that.
Uh,
I love that. I'm here. I'm so here for headless bullies. I love that shit so much.
I mean, I would be here for it too. It just doesn't make a fucking lick of sense.
Does the movie make sense? Go with the flow.
I just don't get it. The other three boys insist that they saw Ryan do it. Again, how they saw that, I don't know.
That's super traumatic for him, and that's another Jack Frost in the making because they're like blaming him for something he didn't do.
Yeah, the head of the snowman smiles. Of course, we, the audience, are the only ones that see this. The head has teeth now, and I guess we should just call the snowman Jack Frost now, right?
Yes, and this is when the music actually turns and it gets so much better. It leaves like the Hallmark thing, and it just gets so much. How can I say it? Like it gets
More
very
YouTubey.
no, like they play the Nutcracker, and then like that when Christ was born on Christmas Day, but it's very like how can I say it? Like very ghostly, very dark, like sinister,
Haunting?
very haunting. Yeah, it's super
What
cool.
are you
Yeah,
talking about?
like the music changes here. Like
I
once
don't know.
yeah, yeah. Honestly, like if you weren't paying attention, pay attention to this part, and the music gets better. Like it just goes from that Hallmarky shit to like
We're not sure.
yeah, I'm sure.
Okay. Uh, so the Metzers are upset and threaten action about Ryan. We feel bad about Sally and don't think we feel bad about Sally and don't think she belongs in this movie. Ryan insists still that it was the snowman that did this. And what do we think about the snowman? We can agree that the snowman is constructed quite poorly.
Yeah, to me, it's constructed poorly, and he just sounds like an angry Charles Lee Ray
Yeah.
voice to "I'll get you, bitch," you know, like just that angry "I'll get you," and you're like, shut up.
Yeah, we should watch Pinocchio's Revenge.
Cool.
Yeah. About the effects so far, which I'm trying to find out who did the effects for this film, and I haven't been able to find anything yet. They must be ashamed.
Show your face.
But I mean, I get that there's no budget, but the centerpiece of this movie is the snowman, and it's just not effective, even in a funny way. Like, it's just not funny. It's not
And
scary.
it's like snowmen don't have hands, and this guy has hands like big old mitten-looking hands, and it's like they normally have sticks. Why didn't they give him sticks for hands?
I
Would
don't
have been
know,
just
man.
as effective.
Mom is making stew. Oh, Sheriff Sam is going over old love letters from Jack Frost because, again, Jack Frost and he have history. It's clear he's been living in the past, and Mom hates this. There's a noise outside. Sheriff takes his small fake gun and opens the door to find Paul, who is delivering salt. Back at the Metzers, Sally wants lights on the tree. Jake shames her for wanting to celebrate, even though their son just got killed.
Why is he delivering salt all the time? Everybody's trying to figure out who this killer is. There's snowmen all over the damn place, and there's delivering salt all day long. It's like, can't you just melt the damn snowman? But it just doesn't work with salt.
Well, they don't know that it's a killer snowman.
And the salt won't kill him.
And you would, well, yeah.
He'll just melt into a puddle.
There's just stuff happening. They just need stuff to happen.
Yeah. They just want us to call these people like, these people are so dumb. They have the salt. Use what you got.
Yeah. Wait, would salt do anything for snow?
It melts it. That's why they throw it on the ground.
Well, it's funny because they don't use the salt in the movie.
Well, it wouldn't be effective anyways because he's just going to melt into a puddle, remember? And that's what he does to just move from place to place.
Oh, yeah. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Oh, God, you guys.
He
Okay.
can't die.
Yeah, well, and he teleports.
Stop.
Like, this motherfucking
Stop
snowman,
it.
like, melts into puddles of water and then teleports into different spots.
It's brilliant. Guys, can you imagine the writers at the table? Oh my gosh. This just hit. You guys, he can melt and he can go under the door and come out into the next room.
As I was saying, back at the Metzers, Sally just wants her fucking Christmas lights out.
Oh no, we're here?
And Jill just wants to go out. And Jake is mourning the loss of his only boy.
And this guy is so angry. You don't agree with me that he's angry. I feel like he's just fucking angry at everything.
He's not angry enough. But he calls his daughter Jill, Shannon Elizabeth, lady of the night. And she's going to go see her boyfriend, Tommy. And we hate the husband. We hate the dad of this family. He's a piece of shit.
She's like, you want to put the lights on the tree? She's like, nope.
No, she deserves so much better.
Yeah.
In every way. We love
Sally Metzner, we love you.
We love you so much.
You didn't deserve that, girl.
So Jill leaves. Jake goes outside to smoke and is confronted by the large foam Jack Frost that Jake doesn't seem to even care is conveniently placed on his front lawn. He's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Like, you have a voice coming at you from all angles and you don't consider the snowman.
The big snowman that I never placed in my own front yard.
Like, it's brand new, just hanging out, looking all sinister and scary.
As huge as a Buick.
There is something talking to you and you wouldn't even consider.
This guy's gonna smoke a cigarette and the Jack Frost is like, hey man, can you bum a cigarette? Or can you have a cigarette?
This is where he gets his pipe. Yeah. This is where he gets his corn cob pipe.
That's true.
And the things that Jack is saying while Jake is trying to get the axe from the block of wood, like he's saying, like, put your back into it. Like, it's just the dumbest shit, you guys. The dumbest shit.
Yeah, really.
That could ever happen in a movie is happening right now.
The voices coming out of Jack Frost, the snowman, just shut up. You would have been so much better quiet. You're just shut up.
It's so silly. So Jake retrieves the axe from the woodblock, like I said, still not realizing his antagonizer is the snowman before him, and Jack takes the axe and shoves it down Jake's throat. Literally, no blood in this death. Shocking. But wait for it, because the next death we're about to get is quite bloody.
Oh, Sally.
Oh, God. So Sally has gotten her tea. She sits down, not realizing that Jack Frost is behind her. The lights on their sad-ass tree begin to flicker. She inspects them, and then Jack reappears behind her and viciously attacks her, smashing her face into the bulbs, strangling her with the lights, popcorn strings too, and propping her up against the tree. Now, I just made this sound a lot less dramatic and gross and bloody than it actually is. Like, this snowman fucks her up.
He fucks her up. Like, she didn't deserve this shit. And all this while fucking Hawaiian Christmas holidays playing in the background. Fucking why?
It's really,
I don't get it.
Really fucked up. And Paul finds her and then runs off into the woods, screaming about a killer snowman. Yeah. And this is kind of where we get the idea that Jack is a teleporting entity of sorts. Like, he can melt into a puddle of water and then kind of like slink away.
Yeah. And it's so slow, you guys. We literally have to sit there and watch the water pour through the fucking keyhole. It's into a puddle to the next room. And everybody's just standing there watching like transform, and they're just sitting there watching. We're like, get the fuck out of the damn room. There's another door behind you.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say.
It's so good.
Oh my God. Horrifying. So Sheriff, I mean, in my notes, all I wrote was yikes.
Yeah, really.
Like, what else? So Sheriff Sam and his two cohorts go to the scene. The point of view of Sally and the blinking lights is kind of funny because the whole scene takes place from the corpse of Sally's point of view.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So that's kind of cool. Oh, his goons are named Deputy Pullman and then Deputy Joe. And I do know that Deputy Pullman is played by Brian Lechner, and he is funny as fuck.
They brought the comedic relief. It's super good.
Yeah, Brian Lechner is really funny. Like, he's popping Pez into his mouth as he's inspecting fucking dead bodies. It's hilarious.
Something. He's like, he says something like, cop, I was eating. He's like, well, not your girlfriend. Something like just in the some comedy.
God. Okay, so where are we at here? Sheriff goes back to the station and finds Agent Manners in Marla's seat. Agent Stone is there too. They're there to discuss Old Man Harper, and Manners says he is hot on the trail of something, and if he's right, he'll have a team in by midnight. You know what? I need to find out real quick who played Agent Stone. It's Rob LaBelle. He's the one who basically created Jack Frost when it comes down to it.
The one that works for that
antifreeze
place or whatever, right?
Yeah. And the agents discover the melted remains at the Metzer house. and that it's mixed with antifreeze or something, right? Is that's what I'm gathering?
What was it?
When they go to the Metzer house to go see the bodies of Sally and Jake, they are like looking at the water leftovers, right? And
Yeah.
they see that it's mixed with antifreeze. Is that what?
No, I don't know if it's mixed with antifreeze yet. I don't think it is.
Maybe that comes later.
Yeah.
Okay. So Sheriff Sam and the doctor examine Jake with the axe in his mouth. And this is where Agent Manners suggests a curfew. And I feel like because of the budget constraints, the rest of this movie is going to take place in this one Christmas location.
The corner.
Yeah. Did we lose Jill? Where did Jill go? Oh, she went to her boyfriend's house.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, tell me. And this is the part where I was like, oh, it's going to be a musical because now we're in a town hall.
Yeah.
And then like they open up the curtains and then it like looks like there's going to be a Broadway number. And I was like, oh shit, like Cats.
It feels like they pulled everybody out of the town bar just to come to this assembly. And
and I love scenes like this with everybody just gathering around to hear about the problem headed towards the little town.
They close the chapel doors behind them.
Yeah.
Listen, everybody, we have a problem.
All 9 people.
Yeah.
Which is going to affect everybody terribly.
Yeah.
So, what is this town called? Snowmonton?
Snowmonton.
It's like Snow Mountain, but without the
yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
So Sam informs everybody of the curfew. Outside, Paul interrupts, screaming about the snowman, and he's destroying all of the snowmen that have been built for the competition. Agent, I can't say that word. Agent Manners punches him out.
I'm so glad he did. He fucking deserves a sleeper. Shut up.
I like Paul.
Well, yeah, but it's like, okay.
I do. He's like the only character.
He's just going crazy. He's just destroying all the freaking snowmen because he wants to find the snowmen. So he's literally destroying all the snowmen of the that were built for the competition.
Exactly.
Like head by head, destroying them.
It's logical. It makes perfect fucking sense.
Like, where's the snowman? Where's the snowman? I gotta find the snowman.
100.
Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
But this guy's like fucking 12 feet tall, bro. You know what the snowman looks like. It's none of these.
I mean, I feel like that Jack Frost can grow or shrink or do anything he wants to.
Surprisingly, he can do shit that you're like, why didn't he just do that shit to begin with?
Yeah, I don't feel like there are rules.
Yeah.
So the sheriff has his hands in his pockets, by the way, which I hate. I hate that he is walking around like a dog with his tail between his legs.
Well, in the beginning, when they told him to just keep going, we already learned that he has a dog between.
Okay.
Yeah.
LOL. Okay, so Sheriff tells Pullman to go to Paul's and see what set him off, so he does so. Jack Frost is in the middle of the street holding a stop sign, so he stops.
Why
and
not?
this is where I'm like, wait, he can teleport? Like, this is so weird. Jack ends up in the driver's seat and he backs up over Pullman.
Oh, yeah, because this is the first time you saw he gets off the car and he sees the puddle, and then I'm like, oh, he's gonna go in the car because he can teleport.
Yeah, it's the fucking stupidest thing you've ever seen. And again, another bloodless death. It's so fucking dumb. At home, Mom, Anne, encounters a super non-suspenseful leaky pipe under the sink, and this is where Joe, who is Chip Heller, by the way, that's his name, Chip Heller, he comes in to save her from it, but not really, because this scene is just here for filler. And this is where she gets into the car and notices that the snowman is gone. And because, Billy Billy, who the fuck is Billy? Ryan, her son, had just built it, and now she notices that the snowman is missing. And that, for me, is probably the best part of the movie.
Like, for her facial expression when she realizes that it's not there.
Just very subtle, like, oh, where did that snowman go?
Because at first, the first look she gave was like surprised and kind of happy, but then it's like, now it's like, this motherfucker just moved.
Yeah. Okay, so Jill and Tommy break into the sheriff's house right after Mama Ann and Joe leave, because Joe is the one that escorted her away, and I think they're leaving because they're in danger, right? Like, there's obvious danger. And I don't know why Jill and Tommy break into the sheriff's house, because I'm confused. Does Jill not know that her family was just murdered?
She's just being dangerous.
Is she just being rebellious?
Yeah, she's just being rebellious.
So,
it's kind of like that part in any horror movie where they, come on, just go, and then they just have sex.
I think I misunderstood, because I thought that she knew that her family had just gotten killed.
No,
but maybe she didn't know. Okay, so this is where we get the teens about to fuck. and Shannon Elizabeth strips for Tommy. Tommy also takes off his clothes. Not sure what's really going on.
Yeah, this was just the filler so that she broke in there because Jack was supposed to go to the house to kill the sheriff's family, and he found Shannon Elizabeth in there instead with her boyfriend.
Yeah, it was
So
something.
He decides to take her for a ride.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Jack Frost has no rules as to what kind of ice he can morph into either. I'm realizing 55 minutes in, because Tommy opens up a bottle of bubbly and then he chips some ice from the freezer and he puts it in the bubbly. And well, you know what? Actually, I don't think anything comes out of that. I think
Well, it was dumb because, well, that's what it was, right? Because there was a nose inserted into the freezer. When he's like chipping away, you can see the nose like backwards into the freezer. So I'm like, oh, maybe he is in the freezer. You're right.
Wait, so how did the nose get into the bathtub?
Oh.
I forget. Oh, wait, because he ends up in the bathtub. The nose ends up in the bathtub, right?
Mhm.
The puddle ends up outside of the bathtub. So somehow he gets in the bathtub because he's a fucking puddle of water that can just travel.
It is.
Why are we asking questions?
I don't know.
Gross. Okay, like the fact. Okay. So this is the part in question that we were kind of talking about earlier, and I just want to get it out of the way. So Jack Frost attacks Tommy and then shoots icicles at him, impaling him in the chest, and then one through the forehead. He is definitely dead.
I don't understand the icicle shooting. That was weird.
I don't understand anything. Upstairs, Shannon Elizabeth has been blow drying her hair and being weird because, again, I still don't know why we're here. She decides to take a bath. And again, you guys, trigger warning. I didn't even know what was happening. Again, so to be clear, the carrot appears in the bathtub. And I think this is because, again, the water had somehow made its way upstairs. And then she comments on the water being cold, and then the water fills with snowflake water, and then she starts screaming and can't move, and then Jack builds up, like he ends up like building up from the bath water and has her trapped in his arms and starts slamming her against the wall, and you're just like, wait, what's he doing? This doesn't make any sense. But then you realize he doesn't have a nose, and she's just screaming, and she's flailing around, and he's just smashing her against the wall repeatedly, and then she falls to the ground finally and then has blood come out of her mouth, and then Jack puts his nose back on and then says what, Alex?
Christmas must have came early while smoking a dead Jake's pipe.
Oh my god.
That's when we find out, like, that's just dead Jake's pipe. But he says the grossest thing. He's like, Christmas must have came early. It's just like, because he gets the nose, he puts it back on, and we realize, where was the nose during this whole scene? And of course he was using it as a prop. The way he was in the tub is like he kind of became this foam thing inside of the bathtub and trapping her.
Yeah.
It was just weird, the buildup.
I think it was just a really interesting, but not in a good, interesting type of way to work your way around filming a rape scene.
It was not excusable, even if it was disguised as a snowman. It was just the grossest. It made us feel really gross. We literally both paused and were like, we can't kind of like recover from that and like keep going. It's just weird. Like, we just witnessed this.
We're not trying to be dramatic because we're able to sit through a lot, but that was just such a weird, interesting segment of the film.
No, like, back then it was bad times in Rydell High, and now it's like we're in this time of life, and it's like, oh my gosh, we just witnessed this and we were part of it.
and we could have killed Shannon Elizabeth in a different way, in a much different way. And I'm wondering what she thinks going back and looking at this. Like, if this is funny for her or if this was like a different experience for her. If this was like a hard time. Like, I'm really interested to know what this experience was like for her.
I had even mentioned to you, like, I wonder what Marcia Clark thought about the scene.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like
as a woman.
As a woman to woman, yeah.
Actress to actress. So I don't want to go anymore on that. We already kind of talked about it earlier. So that happened. It's over. Ugh. At the station, we discover there's a big old blizzard headed our way. So whatever danger is in our tiny little town is stuck there. So we're going to get it. Damn it.
Let me pause you real quick. Do we have carrots?
Not those long carrots.
Oh shit. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Oh,
ready for a bath?
Way to lighten the mood. Alex. Alejandro. Pullman's car appears, but there's no driver. Jake Metzer's scarf is also on the ground. Marcia Clark.
Which is the only scarf in town.
Yeah, I know. Marla goes to pick it up and Jack Frost appears, much to everyone's disbelief. They all run inside and we get our Scream 3 moment. All the lines are down, chaos, etc., etc. And I'm sorry, but from this point forward, it was really hard to take notes.
Yeah, seriously, it's just what are we watching also? And it was like we're not gonna talk about Marsha Clark's Scream Queen moment.
Oh, she does have quite a set of lungs. Yeah, she does have that moment. She's like, "Oh, it's just a scarf." That is pretty thrilling.
Yeah.
I will say that.
I enjoyed actually that entire scene of hers.
I'm going to read my bulleted notes that I wrote down from this point.
Okay.
So, the dialogue. I can't take my eyes off of Marsha.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can be taken seriously.
Nope.
How is this happening? Why did we do this to ourselves?
Yeah.
We still have 20 minutes left. LOL. He's shooting at water.
Yeah, really.
Okay.
You want to hear mine?
Yeah.
I say, then they run away from Jack. One stays behind and shoots him with a hairdryer. Meanwhile, Jack's like, no eyes, no nose, no button, giving the illusion that he is yet to be complete. Well, meanwhile, he's just yelling out, hey, what are you doing? You know, like comedically at these people. It's so weird. It's like, what are we watching? What is happening right now? They like become the Ghostbusters all of a sudden. Like, what happened?
I mean, you guys, I think we need to do Troll 2 at one point. I think that might be a watch along. But
it's like the weirdest things happen. Like this cop is like trying to shoot the lock off the window, and they're like, "Don't shoot it," because the gas is like leaking from the house.
And it's not even gas; it's roach spray.
Yeah, so
it's like the fog spray.
Turns the gun around and starts banging at it with the end of the metal. Now it's like, you're still gonna spark it up. What are you doing?
These guys are really, really bright. So okay, we're almost done now that I'm looking at this.
Yeah.
Sam picks up a blow dryer and aims it at Jack. I'm not kidding. Have we mentioned that Shannon Elizabeth was sexually assaulted with a fucking carrot?
I don't want to hear about it.
Okay.
It's so gross.
I mean, I guess with special effects budgets, they literally spent like $6.
But if this was the only way that they could get her naked, we could have done it when she just admitted, then the first time that she got naked, just walked away, turned around, and just gave us a little ass. We would have been fine.
I mean, there's not really any excuse for sexual assault in films.
And force, because she was grabbed by legs and arms. Like, there was no way she could move.
Yeah.
Okay, enough. We're not going to get that life.
So the fog thing you were talking about, that whole set piece was actually weirdly fine for me. I didn't like hate that part. Sam retrieves the keys that he has left behind in this whole scuffle of sorts and frees Paul from the jail cell he's been in.
This reminds me of Belle's dad, like trying to escape the beast. The way he like grabs him, and he's like, oh, like it looks like Belle's dad to me.
I love that you will find any reason to compare something to an animated children's Disney film.
Hey.
Okay.
You want to talk about that one?
No.
We'll find some gore in it.
No, we won't. Jack is in snowman form again and is after them. They're all climbing out a window, and we end up back at the Fair Lodge. I think that's what it's called, right? Mm-hmm. The Fawn Lodge or the Fair Lodge. Creepy Xmas music is playing because the subtitles tell us so.
Yeah.
Manners shoots at the station and the building explodes, but Jack Frost isn't dead. He has put himself back together. Look, Ma, I'm a Picasso, he says, and continues after them into the lodge. Marla and Joe go to Marla's. The others gather in lodge with the other remaining town residents. Manners and Sheriff confront Stone about what he really knows about Jack Frost and what he's become. He says Jack Frost was an accident, meant to be next-level genetic research, to ensure the survival of our race through global holocaust and so much more that I can't even keep up. Something happened in the accident. That's all I can fucking relay at this moment in time because I have no fucking clue. I have no idea. No clue, Alex. I just know that the snow did something to his DNA.
Oh, yeah. Well, remember, it's like if it mixed, and that's why they gave us that little cartoon effect, Frosty the Snowman.
Yep.
But it's the same marketing for the label for the Frosties antifreeze.
Yeah. So that should tell you guys, just pay attention because that will tell you what happened.
Yeah.
He's a killer snowman, and that's all. That's all.
A killer snowman.
His soul
this thing was it's just this genetic acid that was supposed to mutate humans and resurrect humans later in the future, and it just mixed in with the snow and it became this fucking snowman.
AKA the stupidest thing you've ever heard.
Yeah. And yeah, as if Halloween 3 wasn't enough, or
long live Halloween 3. What's up, Lonnie Olson?
Let's do it.
But we have to put Jack Frost in a watertight container, we find out. So that will destroy him. I guess. Did any of this make any sense, right? No, never mind. Never mind. I don't want to open that can of worms. So Jack barrels into the lodge as a big giant snowball, and Paul, Stone, Manners, and the sheriff, as well as Mom, have armed themselves with blow dryers. And what do you know? The rest of the town has too. All 9 of us. And they lure him into the basement, where they lock him into the furnace, where he melts. Poof, like magic.
Like, duh, why did we do that to begin with, right?
Manners and Stone are down in the basement watching the furnace, where Jack has just melted, but Jack reappears behind them, killing Munch and possessing Stone. Stone goes back upstairs, regurgitating Frost back out, who gets into the sheriff's car through the air conditioning vents. Ryan, who is in the car with him, kicks the window in, and as they're crawling out, the sheriff smashes the oatmeal cookies into Jack's face, who screams and howls in pain as his face starts to melt horrifically. Turns out Ryan put antifreeze in the... Is it antifreeze or antifreeze?
It's the same anti.
Turns out Ryan put antifreeze in the cookies because he didn't want his dad to be cold.
Can you imagine this damn kid genius?
Fucking Ryan.
He fucking created the snowman, then killed him. This is the Frankenstein effect, you guys.
Jack is then run down in the street by Paul. So, yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just...
This movie's exhausting.
Sam goes back to the... Oh, I'm getting the lodge and the town hall confused because now I think this is the town hall. I'm not... Okay, he goes back to one of these places. Anyway, we have a crazy rock and roll electric dance of the Sugar Plum Fairies in the background as Paul and Sheriff prep for Jack to attack again. Paul fills his truck with antifreeze, lots of antifreeze.
Lots of it.
Lots of it. Antifreeze. And Jack finds Sam upstairs, impaling him with an icicle in the stomach and taunting him. Sheriff then plummets out of the window with Jack Frost into the back of Paul's truck, where Jack finally meets his end in a mushy pile of bloody snow in the puddle of antifreeze, or in the antifreeze. Antifreeze.
And it's not over yet.
Can you just tell me how this ends?
So the kid, everybody's like watching the dad killing this snowman meat. All of a sudden it has meat, right?
Oh, it does. I mean, like,
Yeah.
he's like mushy.
It's like fleshy, like gross inside. Okay, so he's killing the rest of the snowman in the back of the truck. Meanwhile, the family is outside cheering him on. Go, Dad, kill him, Dad, get him. And then the kid looks down on the floor. And he's like, hey, Dad, you forgot this arm. And he's picking it up at the same time. And the dad's like, no, don't pick it up. So the mom picks up the kid entirely, throws him in the back of the truck. The dad then gets him, puts him in this baptism position, starts dunking him into the water over and over repeatedly. He then gets up, and then they smile at each other because it's the end of the movie. Everybody finds a light.
It's so funny because
the priest is like, bless Jesus. Like, it just becomes this whole other ending. It's funny.
There's no priest.
There's the priest.
Is there a
yeah,
priest?
he says, bless Jesus.
I swear
It
there was no
becomes
priest.
it becomes this whole thing because they're at the church.
I thought
Remember,
it
he
was
turns
the
on the fire and
doctor.
he's like, everybody should be happy now. Or
There's a priest, Father
the father.
Brog.
Yeah, he's like, God bless, and like very like comedically he says it. So then they're at the funeral, burying Jack Frost in these bottles of antifreeze.
Okay, thank you. You know what's funny is we just watched this movie 3 hours ago, and I completely blocked out everything after
They're all
I said.
burying these bottles of antifreeze, and then the camera goes into the dirt, and it shows that one of the bottles is still bubbling, giving us the idea that Jack Frost will live on, and there's part 2.
God bless us, everyone.
God bless me. How the fuck did I remember that shit?
And you're not even
Yeah.
reading notes or nothing, homie.
At me, trivia.
I'm literally sitting here going, I'm trying my best to go into the depths of my mind.
No, the last note was literally, can you just tell me how this ends?
And that was
and that was 3 hours ago. Like,
And that was my fucking note. But again, like, I just gave up.
just because he can honestly not sit through the end, the last 3 minutes of this movie. Stanley is like that. Like, if he watch one movie one time and be like, I got enough information, and I'll be like, I can watch it over and over, background, whatever, just play it. I'll get enough information. I don't care.
No, and no, I'm not going to disagree with you. I'm not even going to argue.
But he loves his movies, trust me. But it's
I
just
do.
for research wise, because he doesn't want to kill it or burn himself out of it. It's just like he'll watch it one time and be like, nope.
Yeah, and this one, And I love watching the movies specifically for the little plot blurbs.
Yeah.
Even if our little plot blurbs don't like satisfy you guys, they satisfy us.
Yeah, honestly, they do. Even this grossest scene, like on my notes, I was just like things we could have done without this movie, and it was Shannon Elizabeth. That whole scene part, like the stupid ass things that just happened throughout the movie that I'm like, I could have just done without that.
And I want to
The
I want
cover.
to say something. Yeah, the cover's fucking stupid. I want to say something positive about Shannon Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Like, although I don't love the Night of the Demons remake, I do like her in that film.
Mhm.
I don't want to just sit here and just think that, or want people to think that we're just bashing on people.
No, I'm sorry too. Because she was one of our girls, early '90s. I mean, late '90s, early
Yeah.
2000s. Where she was Shannon Elizabeth. She literally raised us with all her movies she was in. So,
Poster girl, baby. And like
Yeah.
I love American Pie and I love
Mhm.
her in all those movies as well. I just feel like she did not get a particular great end of
Yeah.
the stick as far as I think that she got typecast.
And now that I think about it, this was a footprint for her. So it's like I saw her exactly how Shannon Elizabeth is, because I kept saying to you, like, damn, Shannon Elizabeth only has one job, just be Shannon Elizabeth. And it seems like she's
Yeah.
the same character in every single movie. And I think this set a footprint for her, and directors and producers were just gross after this.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, just get her. She'll do it. She's so hot.
No, 100%.
She'll do it.
And
Get her.
I always forget that she was in Love Actually.
Mhm. She has a list of movies. She's great at what she does, but it just sucks that that's what they saw her for initially, this being her fucking footprint in video. I mean,
No, I know what you mean.
yeah.
But yeah, guys, that was Jack Frost. I don't really have any fucking overall thoughts on it outside of the fact that I don't think I will watch this movie again. I found it I found it kind of boring, to be honest. I was entertained to a certain point, but I just did not care enough about it. I think I'm just honestly burnt out on the whole comedy horror thing.
Mhm.
It's not my favorite subgenre. I think I'm just ready for something scary.
Yeah.
And
agree.
it doesn't mean that it was downright fucking terrible and shouldn't have been made, because
No.
again, I know that this definitely has a cult audience, much like
Elves.
Elves. There are movies that are made that have an audience really directed for them or aimed at them.
Yeah, and this is just because people can relate to certain parts, like because this movie to me has fake characters. Everybody kind of seems relative to somebody. Like we thought, Sally, was that her name?
Yeah.
We thought she was, who do we say? Oh my gosh, Jennifer Coolidge.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
oh my gosh, I thought that was Jennifer Coolidge, and then I thought her husband Paul was Jason Alexander. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay, so it's not these characters. So I was like, this fake ass movie.
Oh yeah. It had a lot of like, oh, like this person looks like this person.
Besides Marsha Clark and Shannon Elizabeth, which are the most relatable faces,
Yeah.
it's a good movie to see Marsha Clark in her early days.
Yeah. I didn't love it. I thought the effects were cheap. I thought a lot of it was just cheap. If you want to see something good from the same director, same writer, he wrote Identity. He didn't direct it, but he wrote it, and that is a good film. So
It's weird. We don't need this in digital print. We don't need this remastered. We don't need this any other form than the way it
no,
already exists.
just watch it on a grainy VHS, or don't watch
Yeah.
it at all.
I'm ready for the Michael Keaton version. This one gave me a headache.
No, I don't want to watch that either. But yeah, guys, so that slashes. What is this movie fucking called? Oh, Jack Frost. That slashes Jack Frost off the list of 6 weeks of holiday horror. Alex, do you want to tell our listeners what we will be covering next Monday?
You guys, we're going to be doing It's a Wonderful Knife. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You got your knives? Is it wonderful?
I am really, really, really pumped to talk about
I'm
this.
excited for this one. I can't wait to watch it again.
Yeah, we saw this one in theaters, and I am a huge fan of Michael Kennedy. We love Michael Kennedy. This was directed by Tyler McIntyre, starring Jane Whittip from my favorite show ever, Yellow Jackets. This also has Justin Long and a horrific set of teeth.
This movie
And
is super yummy. It's fucking great.
it is good.
Yeah, so I can't wait to get back into this one.
Yeah, we really, really can't wait to talk about this one. So that will be next week, guys. We hope you enjoyed our episode about Stupid Jack Frost, even though this movie sucks snowballs. Uh, okay, gory gay. That's it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get ready for some Mandy.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't wait.
Let's
I
go.
can't wait.
Christmas in
Mandy
LA.
Moore, baby.
Christmas in LA.
Again, follow us on social medias, Gory Gaze. That's Instagram and Twitter and YouTube. You can email us at thegorygaze@gmail.com. That's all. I'm Stanley.
I'm Alex. Bye.
Love you.